Hi everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Sabre Education Experience Forum. I'm Dunk Richards, and of course today we've got the amazing Carolyn Gahan, who's going to be giving us her red balayage look here. So yeah, guys, feel free to jump on, ask lots of questions, share any information or things like that or ideas, and yeah, I'll let Carolyn jump in to start with, and in a minute we can get started on this great look.
All
Good.
right.
Thanks,
Cool.
Carolyn.
So I've already prepped this mannequin head this side just this morning. So this is the kind of color that we're going to be doing today, as you can see. So it's a tint darker along the root, and then we're doing a nice balayage with different shades of red going through there. So it's kind of just one process, and then we just do a toner at the end. But yeah, this is the look that she's going to have today. So guys, I've just gone ahead and prepped the regrowth, because I know you guys know how to do regrowth. It's a little bit boring. But I am going to prep the hair quickly with the Pro Series 1 Defy Damage. So this is going to help equalize the porosity in her hair and help this red, beautiful color last as long as possible. So I'm just going through each section. Give it a really good shake, this product, and you're just going to go down the shaft of the hair and a nice big comb through. And already you can see the difference of that hair compared to this hair. So it's a beautiful preparator for any of your chemical services. All right. So colors. I am doing, on the regrowth, this is the darkest shade. So this shade you can adjust, you know, if your client has gray in their hair, you need to adjust for gray coverage. So what I've done is a 5 NRV, and I've used that color because I want a little bit of that end in there so I don't get those hot roots. So that's just going to give me that nice beautiful depth, as well as when her hair grows out, that's going to blend really nicely with her natural color. So I've mixed a 5 NRV with a 4 RRV because I want that depth as well. And also put a 5 RR just to still have that intense red shade going through there. Okay, cool. So I'm going to turn her around. So that color is all through the regrowth. And I'm just going to cover up this side so we don't get hair color on her on this side. Just bear with me for 1 sec.
We'll come up and have a look at the formulas. So if you have a look there, that's Carolyn's root formula. And we'll be posting this after the class.
Okay. So I just chuck a piece of foil on there so I can flop the hair over and we don't have to color the other side. All right, so I'm just gonna do like a zigzag along the bottom nape section there. And this is where I'm going to pull that root color all the way through because I want to create the depth, as you can see over here. So see, the red can bounce off those deeper tones. That's this section here. So just gonna get that out of the way. And we're simply just going to color this section with the same color we did on the root, which is that deep tone, violet red with a little bit of NRV to keep that hair a little bit more on the browner side than vibrant red. But this is really important to have some depth in the hair so the other red pieces can really pop and shine. Cool, so just grab a comb, simply just comb that right through. All right. Cool. So having a towel as well is really important. Just give it a bit of a water spray, a little bit of damp towel, just to clean your hands a little bit as you're going along. And also just be mindful of the client's skin. I mean, this color can stain a lot. So if you can have some color wipes or just stain remover as you're going along, just to keep their hair or their skin nice and clean, or you can use a barrier cream, whatever you like. Okay, so I'm just gonna do another big zigzag section. Just in there. Thank you. All right, so that's just this section. And this formula is lighter and a higher developer. So this one I'm doing with a 30 volume because I want to pop this color up a lot and I need a 30 volume to get through there. I could use 20 as well, but I want it to be as vibrant as possible. So this combo is a 5RR and a 6RR with 30 volume.
So as you work through, Carol, I mean, you're going from darker through to lighter as you're working through. You're really emulating what hair naturally does, but you're moving it into red shades.
Yes, exactly. So you can do this on brunettes as well. I mean, just have fun with this one, guys. You can really adjust the colors. If you want to put more copper in these formulas, you can. More violet or more brown, you totally can just go for it. It's really versatile, this color. But it looks beautiful in the end because it's kind of like you don't really know how the color's doing what it's doing. It's all different shades and it just looks like expensive red hair color,
Velvety, rich red.
Yeah. All right, so this is the last section here.
So, Carolyn, you've gone, for example, a mix 4 of a 5, then a 5 to a 6, then a 6 on top.
Yes, exactly.
Could you even go even further than that? Could you go like a full level in difference in shade, or would that start to become too much of a contrast and not blend enough?
You can, yeah. Just be mindful that we have a 4 in our formula for the regrowth. So, if you want that high contrast, really ombre look, you can bump it up to a 7 or 8. But we're going to do the balayage on top, so that's going to give you those really light pieces as well. So I like to keep this on the darker-ish side, and then just rely on those balayage pieces for your highlights. Okay, so this is where we're going to do the lightest formula, and this is our 6RRC with 30 volume. So you just kind of want to drag down that root color a little bit, just to blend those in there, and then we're just going to paint through the mid-lengths and ends. So I don't want you to really cake the color on. I want it to be saturated, but not where you just see big clumps of color, because we're going to do balayage over top of that. All right, next section.
I mean, Carolyn, you do this in the salon as a technique. I can see, you work through it really nice and quickly as you're doing it here as well.
It's just the best, yeah. I do this on most of my red hair clients. And then moving forward, so say this client came in 7-8 weeks, you wouldn't have to do the balayage over. You literally would just do the regrowth and then refresh like your toner with your direct dye. Or you can do your demi-liquids, that's totally fine as well. But the balayage only needs to be done maybe twice a year, so it's a really good add-on service for your clients who are just coming in for their normal tints, just to spice up their life a little bit, really. And it just keeps your clients coming back and wanting more. Like, one of the main reasons clients leave is because they're just bored. They're bored of you, they don't really know, you don't recommend new things, so this is a really good add-on service that you don't really have to add on much time, because while she's processing, she has to sit there anyway. So you might as well add a few pieces of balayage and just, make that color a bit more interesting for both you and her, really. Okay, so just working up. All right, so you can do this on brunettes as well. It's beautiful, I've done it plenty of times. You can do it on short hair, long hair. It's just a really, really easy technique to do. But you'd have to be into the warm shade. So you wouldn't be doing this technique if you wanted something ashier or cool. You won't get that. So it's great for reds, brunettes. You can do it on blondes as well. If you did a nice level 8 for their base, and then some nice balayage over top of that would be beautiful as well. Okay. So I'm just working through this last section.
Just for anyone who's joined late, these are the formulas.
Okay. All right, so there's a shampoo over here called Color Infused Red, which would be great to do at home. So this shampoo, you basically just do when you feel like you need a refresh of your color. It's not a daily shampoo and conditioner. It's got a really nice pigment in there. It's just gonna refresh the red, like as if you've just gone to the salon for a toner kind of thing, you know? So it's just nice to have at home to give you that sort of salon fresh feeling without having to go to the salon. All right, so last section.
Carolyn, just a little shout out from the girls in Perth and the girls at headquarters.
Hey
Let's
guys.
all say hi.
Hello! Thanks for watching, thanks for being here. I don't know how rainy it is over there, but it's like pretty gross here at the moment.
Torrential.
Oh, God. Alright, it's giving me the time to catch up on my Married at First Sight, math, you know, all the garbage that we need to watch. Okay, so now the fun part. Alright. So, okay. I'm just
Carolyn,
going
maybe
to-
we'll just rotate her slightly as well.
Yeah. Alright. Which way do you want me to go? This way?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Cool. Alright. So, in my bowl is Joico Blonde Life and 30 volume. So, I wanted to use 30 because we're going over top of tint. If I did 10 or 20, it wouldn't really budge very much. So I want to be able to see those highlights, but I don't want to use 40 or anything higher because I'm not trying to get to a yellow. I just want to stay in the orange sort of undertone family. Okay, so I'm just literally going to section that up. Put the hair over top. And comb that. And this is our darkest formula. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab, so when I'm doing balayage, I like to scrape the lightener on the bowl. So just like that, and then I just pick it up on my brush, just like that. And we're literally just gonna paint on the surface of that color. Cool. So with my finger, I'm just going up, I'm just blending that in, and that's it, okay? Super easy. You know, we're just trying to get a nice blur of reds. We're not trying to see exact perfect highlights. As you can see in the after side, it's just kind of like you see the different colors of red, but you don't really know how they got there. You know, not everything is super perfect. It's just kind of a blur of beautiful red tones. Okay, so just working up.
It's nearly like a really nice sort of soft marbling through the hair colour.
Exactly, yeah.
A little shout out as well. Hi from Dylan in New Zealand, and Kylie Simcox says hi as well.
Hi! Thanks for being here, guys. Okay, so that's that. With our fingers, we're just going up and blending up. So try to avoid that root area. We just want to keep that very clean at the root until we get to around the hairline, and we can kind of jump into the root a little bit. All right, just sectioning up.
Carol, notices you're doing your balayage there. You're using the small brush as well. Do you use the smaller brush normally when you're doing the balayage, or more for just when you're going over colour to
really.
get a bit more control? Or
I just like to find a brush with the pointiest bristles on the end. I don't really care if it's how wide it is. I just, because you know how some brushes, tint brushes, can get very frayed on the ends. That's like a bit of a disaster for balayage. So this one, it's like pretty new. It's quite a nice edge there, so I know I can get a nice clean line on that. Okay, so this lightener I've mixed 1 to 2 because I want it a little bit, the consistency a little bit runnier than say I would do for a foil. Because I want this lightener to just glide on the surface of the hair. And we're just with our finger, just blending that up really lightly. And then just going down. All right, and this is where I'm gonna start to use a bit of cotton. So you grab a piece and you just kind of pinch it on both sides and make kind of like a 8 sort of. And you just literally stick that right there. And that's it. because there's no lightener underneath that section, so that section can lay on top of that, but I just like to keep it higher at the root so we don't run into any bleeding or weirdness of the blood. Okay, I'm just going to section out this front because that's the last piece we're going to do. It's just around the hairline. That little guy on her poor ear is pretty messed up there anyway. Okay, so I'm just going to keep going up horizontally up the side of her head. So guys, it's super quick. Like, do you see what I mean? Where you can literally just add this on, even if the client didn't book for that. You know, it's an extra maybe 10, 15 minutes that will make a huge difference on your overall results. Okay. Just painting on. La la la. It's very relaxing, I find, doing this. Okay. So kind of up around the face a little bit, and then you kind of paint over top of that whole bottom section. So you can see underneath there's not a lot going on because we still want to keep some depth in that hair. So then we're just going to soften out those little bubbles and things. Just give it a scoop with your hand underneath. And you're just going to soften that out. So I'm just using my one finger and just blending that in to the hair. Make it into, oh, that one didn't work, kind of into the 8, and then we just sort of stick it there. Cool? Any questions so far? How's everyone doing? It's just super easy technique. I literally do this in the salon all the time. It's my go-to. Just got a really nice thing. Okay, the second last section, and we'll do the front. So you can already see how that 6 RRC is coming up with the 30 volume. It's just so pretty. We've got a nice blend going down from the 4. If you just kind of use the back of your comb, you can see how the blend is kind of going. And it's looking pretty
Look at that shine.
good.
Nice and shiny.
Yes. Okay. So, this last section. So just the same thing, just kind of avoiding the root area. Because what can happen is you can get little, actually like big kind of splotches as they go through, and then you have to get into your root shadowing and try to correct it and stuff. So just kind of stay away from the root area and just work in the mid-lengths and ends. Okay. So again, we're just gonna blend up. So up into the root, but just very softly. Grab your towel, wipe your hands off a little bit, and we're just gonna wipe that down. Yeah.
How is this different to your more classic balayage techniques?
So classic balayage, you're generally working on dry hair, and you gotta be a bit more careful. Because yeah, dry hair, you see everything, the lightener will pick up very easily, very quickly. So yeah, I mean, I don't do much balayage on dry hair really. I do a lot of basin balayage at the end just to sort of pop some pieces up around the face, but yeah, I like to just get a little bit more experimental with my clients and hair and stuff. I just can get so bored so easily in the salon, so doing stuff like this, I just love it. Plus, clients have never seen it before, so they're like, oh my god, this is so cool. Okay, so just up around top, avoiding the root, and all the way down. So the other option you could do would be to rinse this whole color, and then go back and do a balayage on wet hair as well, if you weren't comfortable doing something like this. But time is money, so I would rather just smash it out in one go if I can, because then you have to book, you know, that's like a 4-hour job for just getting the same effect in the end, you know?
Would you find that that would mess with the blend? Like, is the blend better when you're working with the tint?
For something like this, because it's more of a subtle kind of, you know, it's a very blurry sort of red highlighted situation. So if you want to really see nice contrast and ribbons of color, yeah, I'd probably do it more on dry hair, so you can visually see it more. But yeah, this is a very, it's just nice if someone's gonna get a regular solid tint, just to spice it up like that. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab some cling wrap so you can see that section's done. And Dunk, where's that piece of, oh, you got it, okay, cool. So this is just normal cling wrap, put on your sandwiches, what it is. So we're just gonna lay it over that, but open up that front section. You can just wrap it right around there, that's fine. So don't push on the hair at all, it's not like a foil, we're not trying to make everything smushed and perfect. So just let that sit as it is. And then this front section. Okay, so we're just gonna comb away from the scalp here. Okay.
So Megan Nelson, looking forward to trying this technique on Thursday with Pauline and on a copper. That sounds exciting.
Yes.
Oh, we'd love to see it.
Can I watch?
Yeah, wow, look, absolutely. Can you share what you end up with, Megan? That'd be great.
Yeah, it's such a nice, easy way to do multi-tone anything really. Okay, so this one I'm actually going right up around the face. So I'm just literally painting right up there, all the way back. Any bubbles you get like that, just wipe them off. Gonna go in around hairline here. Because you know how some clients get very dark there when you do a tint? That's because the hair is very fine. So sometimes you can either formulate lighter around the hairline, or you can just do this technique where you get a really nice balayage blend going through that, which will break up that sort of dark halo that they almost get.
It's really interesting watching you reload your brush there,
Yeah.
rather than trying to drag product the whole length of the hair.
Some people like to use a little palette, which is great. I just wasn't taught that way, so I'm not really comfortable using that, but I just keep going back to the bowl. But yeah, so literally just kind of going back and forth, just not very hard, like it's just very light sort of touches with my finger. And then we're just gonna come back. This is where you really want to get lots of lightener into the hair, because these are the face framing pieces. So you can even get lightener on the other side. So just kind of work that through, because you want to get lots of nice pops of color right around the face. So then just gonna come around this way. You can see what it looks like on this side. So we still kept the depth in here, but then the lightness is gonna start sort of midway through. We're just gonna smooth out those pieces that are trying to poke through there. Cool. And then we're literally just going to put that back. And that's it, really. Super quick. So what we're gonna do for the toner is we're going to use a direct dye in the red. So I kind of do some with the red and some with the ruby red. But you can play around with it. If you want it more violet, you can put some, I think it's amethyst or any other color, just to sort of tailor that to whatever you like. But for her, I use these two. So you see that one's a bit more violet-y, but that one's still. So I did about 3/4 of that and 1/4 of that. And these ones are great because they love porous hair. Like, I want to use these rather than using the demi liquids or the DD creams, because when the hair is porous, these will go in and just the color molecule is so big that it sits in the hair, and it can actually last longer than a permanent color. Because if I was going to go in and do a permanent as well, we've already used 30 volumes, so the cuticle is already raised, and if we put another permanent in, the color will just wash out really quickly. So these are kind of my go-to. I love them. They make a beautiful, also they shine like crazy. You can't get any other color to shine like a semi-permanent direct dye. So I'll just show you again what we have on that side with that color. So, okay. So you can see how that's going to, so I'm just trying a comb. So see on the side how that has turned out. So we didn't have to do a root shadow, we didn't do anything. This is literally how the color is blended out when you do this on this side. So you see all the different tones, all the different colors of red through there. So when she comes in for her regrowth, all you're gonna do is the regrowth and another gloss over the end at the basin with your direct dyes. So you don't have to do this balayage every time. This is going to grow out so nicely. As you can see, there's no lines of demarcation, like it's super blended there. So you're never going to have to worry about touching up the highlights. She can go, I mean, obviously it depends how long she wants the depth to go to. I mean, if she went for 6 months, you know, it'd be dark kind of around there and then light. But she can always just chuck in a few pieces of balayage around the face. But just see how they're going. Like, you know, when they come in, say, how did you go last time? You want it lighter, darker, you know, more vibrant, less vibrant, you know, and sort of tweak those things and get them excited for their next appointment. But yeah, this color is just beautiful. It'll wash out really nicely. But yeah, it's really important to also have that red, the color infused shampoo and conditioner. These are these guys. So that's what they look like. So I'll open them up and you can have a little look to see how pigmented they are.
Nicely, easy upsell, really.
Yeah. So check that out. It's like amazing, amazeballs. So that just goes on the basin or in the shower at home. So if you can, the longer the better, obviously. If you can leave it on for a good 5 minutes and just do whatever you're doing and then give it a rinse. And try not to use super hot water as well. Keep the water a bit on the cooler side if you can. But yeah, reds are just those beautiful colors that, you know, they really stand out. And I love this one because it's just still quite natural around the root. So like I said, if you didn't want the root as dark as that, just bump it up. So don't use the 4 in there, just go to a 5. If you want it more vibrant, keep out the end. So don't use the natural red violet because the brown in the natural obviously is going to mute out the red a little bit. So that's that.
Can I just ask, with your colour intensities, are you mixing the two together or are you alternating?
Yeah, so this one I literally just mix them all together because there's so many different levels and layers of red colors already. I mean, you definitely can. Like, say if you want it around the face to be more red, I would do that piece red, and then around there maybe more violet if you want. But yeah, have a play. But I just do these at the basin on damp hair. Some people like to dry their hair. That's totally cool. For me, I just really towel blot the hair and then apply the direct dye right on top of the hair and leave for 25 minutes. So yeah, it takes a little bit longer than you would a normal toner, but I mean, the hair, it's just beautiful.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
Carol, just a few call outs. Kelly Canham said, love this technique, quick and easy, way to add dimension. You've got from there, Tofino.
Oh,
Okay.
it's my
Hi,
aunt.
CJ. Yeah. Excited to see you with it doing this technique. Jackie Marsh, beautiful. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the messages there.
Thanks, guys.
Carolyn, you've got those beautiful drawings up the back there. Do you mind just doing a
let's
really
have a
quick
look.
recap on those for us with the dogs?
Yeah, of course. So I colored all of the root and the nape is all the same color. So everything that's on her roots is exact same color that's going through her nape. And then we move up to the middle, is so we're bumping it up one level and also one level of developer because we want the hair to go a lot lighter in those mid-lengths and ends, and we don't have the heat from the scalp to help those. So we need to use the 30 volume to bump that color up. So it's a 5RR and 6R in the middle panel, and then the top is just straight 6RRC plus 30 vol. And I just wanted to put in the copper just because I like to do different things. And you guys can do whatever you want, but these are just the colors that I would chose to work with today. And I mean, just go to town. It's super fun, this technique, and obviously super quick. I'm just like, what am I gonna do now? We've already done the hair. But we'll just go through a few sections here so you can see. Okay, so obviously on the bottom, that's where we had that deepest color going right through. And then in the middle, see it gets a little bit lighter in the mid-lengths. But the blend is beautiful. Like, I didn't have to do a root shadow. I didn't have to blend that out. That is exactly how it rinsed off. So it's super quick, this one. And then the top, you can see the hair is a lot lighter through the mid-lengths and ends. So that's the 6RRC with 30 volume, and then obviously the balayage. But yeah, so when she wears her hair up, it's just like, it's heaven, really. You don't see any lines, no foil marks. It's just super, super blended and super natural in an unnatural way. Cool, and then yeah, give her a little trim. I mean, you know, mannequin hair, it's not the best hair, but anyway, did the trick for today. And then I used my big giant curling iron that everyone loves so much.
Jeffrey's back.
I don't know how it got the name Jeffrey.
I think it was you.
It was.
It was
I
you.
watched the Jeffrey Epstein disgusting thing, and then yeah, what's actually still on a bit? Okay. What is on? Cool. So this is actually this extension. This curler is for hair extension. That's why it's so massive. But literally, you can curl the whole head like in 3 minutes. It's insane. So the iron has it doesn't have a spring, so it's called a Marcel handle. So you kind of have to operate with your fingers. It does take a bit of practice, but this is kind of my go-to when I'm doing all my big sort of sets. And I prepped her hair with a heat protector. Oh, look at it, it's right there in the air. Look at that. So this one, give it a good shake, and it smells like amazing. So I'll just show you that on the hair. So give it a good shake. You just want to coat all the hair that you're going to use that iron on, because these colors don't like heat very much. So you got to remember, you're in the shower, that's heat in the shower, then you're blow drying, and then you're heat styling. So you need to have protectors on the hair if you want to keep your hair as vibrant as possible.
Dunk, do you want to tell us a little bit about Heat Hero?
Heat Hero, so it's with these guys, so it's now actually replacing Ironclad, and with that it also has our new anti-pollution technology to it. It has heat protection up to 235 degrees, and it is super shiny, and I think that's one of the great things working with this one now. It's just that little bit of extra gloss and shine. When you work through it, the hair's really nice and smooth. So heat protection, the anti-pollution protection, so that really is about, it actually prevents you know, dust and pollution in the atmosphere from actually breaking down your hairstyle. So, you know, adding that little bit of extra addition to it is amazing for us.
And it's got our slick new packaging, which we love.
And the smell. Oh, Jaco's got to go now with the smells.
The other thing you'll also find with this, whole factor of 3. So it really has that there for you straight away. So it's a really nice light hold to it, very natural sort of hold to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a goodie. I gotta get some.
Look how fast that is.
Yeah. Last section.
Because Carolyn, I know you're such a lover of Defy Damage leave-in protector as well.
Oh yeah.
And that's like your go-to every time.
I will not. I refuse to blow dry my hair with Defy Damage. It is just like it's so nice. It's my fave. It's just this one here. This is the best. So I usually put 2 pumps in my wet hair, blow dry it, and I'm obviously full of extensions, so my hair needs help and moisture. Okay, so I'm just gonna brush this out a little bit so you can see that color.
Just pops, doesn't it? Amazing. Do you want to just show us that little bit of face framing?
Yep.
Yeah, wow.
So yeah, super blended. And that's because I just did that one piece, literally just that one section is when we went up to the root. So we painted closer to the root, but just around the face, you can see there. So when, I mean, this should stay on for half an hour or 35 minutes, but we literally, if you can come up close, Abby, I'll show you. So you can see, we want that hair to stay in the sort of orange reflect family. We don't want that to go into yellow, because it will fade super quickly if it gets into the yellow. It will be vibrant, it will look beautiful, but 1 or 2 washes, it'll be very faded. So we want to stay in the same family with that really nice copper yellowish. But yeah, around the level 7, yeah, not to an 8. But you can see, like, that's with 30 volume. So if I had used 10 or 20, it wouldn't even budge at all. So yeah, you can just give it a little bit of a scrape and just see how it's looking. But yeah, like even now I could probably rinse that, but I just want to leave the tint on a little bit longer. Yeah, and that's it. So how was it?
Amazing.
Super easy, super quick. Yeah, it just takes your colors to another level. Your clients will really appreciate that, and it's super quick. Like just big sections, just whack it on. You're just trying to create a bit of more multi-dimensional reds, basically. You don't have to really perfect highlights. Yeah, so that's it.
Fantastic. Well, we'll get that rinsed off and style her up, and we'll post some pics.
Give it a little trim as well. Just a bit shabby.
Guys, thank you, Carolyn, for a great technique today. Guys, hope you're enjoying all the new techniques, the product information that's coming out there, and please share with us, you know, some of your looks and what you're doing out there in the salon and you're enjoying. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow we're here for Carly Canham is actually going to be doing her quick balayage technique for us. So remember to jump on board for that tomorrow, guys.
So
Okay.
Carly will be doing Hello Balayage, which is she's going to break down some different ways that you can achieve balayage looks.
Great. Thanks,
Cool.
guys.
Thanks for watching.
See you later.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.